Good morning, everyone. Yeah, good morning, Vishwajit. Yeah, good morning, Ubul. Okay, good morning, all. Okay, so anybody missed our last session or yesterday's session? Yeah, good morning. Okay, so let me give a quick review. Okay, Ram says that you missed it. Okay, Ram, I'll just give a quick review what we had in the last session. So Ubul says no question. Thank you, Ubul. Okay, so let's go here and talk about. In the last session, we actually started discussing about. Actually, we started discussing why we have to learn Python. In that, I have explained you a simple life cycle of any IT company. Okay, after like in ID company, what you can do, like you can join as a web developer, you can join as a data engineer, you can join as a data scientist, you can join as a data analyst, you can join as a automator, you can join as a tester. So whatever the thing you wanted to join there, Python will help you everywhere, because Python will help you for web development. Python is the only language I can say to become a data engineer, a data scientist, or data analyst. And Python is very useful in automation and testing. It can be used in cloud computing. It can be used for game development. It can be used for mobile applications. It can be used in desktop applications. Everywhere, guys. So Python is everywhere in short. So that is first reason why we should learn Python. Like after learning Python, what you can get it. That is our first thing. And second thing, we seen that we should learn Python because of popularity, like it's number one programming language. Also, it gives you a very good job. Okay, that is second reason. It's a job trending programming language. Okay, job fetching programming language, because many people ask after Python, can we get a job directly? Yes, guys. There's a lot of opportunities that after learning Python, you will get a job. But if you really want to get a very good job, then you must learn this artificial intelligence and machine learning. That is what people generally learn Python for, actually, because all AI and ML applications has been written in Python. How to host the Python code in web? You are talking about, Ubul? You're talking about like for the web application, like how to host the web application. Okay, let me just see what Ubul is asking. Meantime, I would like to talk about like what are the different applications of Python in artificial intelligence machine learning. We talked about some of the applications yesterday. Like we talked about product recommendation. I told you like a lot of applications like your Amazon, your Flipkart, and other shopping websites do use a concept called product recommendation, which is purely a machine learning application. So what they do is they whenever you buy something, they'll show you that if a customer buy this product, will also buy the other product. Because of this product recommendation, they are doing trillions and billions of business just because of their product recommendation. Because of recommendation, people will get to know a lot of things related with the product, and then they try to purchase the other things as well. Okay, and also they give you some personalized shopping experience by browsing your history, by taking the data from cache, and dating the data from the history and other things what you have browsed in all these days. So based on that, they will collect the information and they'll give you personalized experience of shopping. Okay. Uh, Tushar, I'll let you know. Actually, we are not putting it on YouTube because these are regular sessions. Okay, only workshops we put on YouTube. So we are not putting it. Okay, so we need to attend the sessions. That's one thing is I can tell you now. So this is about machine learning product recommendation. Then we also talk about social networking uses machine learning and artificial intelligence for image recognition, for suggestions and all. They use this machine learning and artificial intelligence. Very good, Ubul. Okay, so no, so ML algorithms also used in YouTube. Yeah, of course, of course. I took an example of YouTube. Sorry, I misunderstood. So it also uses in YouTube. I told you that YouTube also gives you a personalized page where you can see that whatever you have searched based on your history, based on your everything is available on the YouTube based on your suggestions and all. Recommendations will be given by YouTube. Chatbot is another example of machine learning where can your computer chats to or application chats to a human being. Okay, and that is another. And Siri, your Alexa. Okay, we took an example of Google, the Trivago, Gmail, all the way we learn everywhere. I can say you have this machine learning and artificial intelligence application. Yeah, Siri we talk about Alexa and Google Assistant. They all uses this recommendation. And finally, we talk about IoT, called Internet of Things, and how Internet of Things can impact to the world and how Python will be useful for that. So Roshan and others, I would like to talk. I would like to give your answers, or you can talk to our team people regarding any session or any non-technical things because they can answer in a better way. They are the right person. Any question relevant to the subject and all, I would like to answer, especially a relevant topic. If it is little irrelevant, then we can talk at the end of the session, so other people will not fail any space any kind of things. Okay, so that way we'll go for it. So is that clear for everyone? Like these are the things we discussed in the last session. Thank you. Thank you, Obul. Please, others also respond. Ram, thank you, Ram. This is a quick review, Ram. It's okay if you have missed, but this gives you a clear idea like what we have covered till yet. Okay, thank you, Rameshwar. Thank you, Venkat Sai. Yeah, thank you, Srinivas. Yeah, thank you, Roshan. Yeah, Neeraj, thank you. You asked that interview question asking for difference between Python 2.x and 3.x version. Yes, Satyam. You want me to answer that, or you want to answer that question, Satyam? Thank you, Abhilash. Okay, so anyhow, what is the difference then? Today I'm going to show you, because we are going to, let me talk about today's agenda. Today's agenda will be, first we will be discussing about installing and running Python. How do we install Python Python interpreter, and how we run that Python code. That, yeah, we are doing from the beginning, guys, okay? No worry, Nitesh. Anybody missed our earlier session, still it will not affect much. It only gives you the history, because obviously the history makes you feel good. If you know about who developed Python and how he developed, okay, why he named Python, why we are learning Python. If you know these things, it impacts your course, but still it will not affect much if you missed it. But today's session will be very important. Okay, today's session will be very, very important. And then our team people will help you how to join using mobile and all. Okay, so please take help from our people, they'll help you. Okay, so today's session will be very important. Okay? So anybody here, if they missed first two sessions, please no worry. Please no worry. Someday I will take some backup session if you want. somebody interested, some weekend, I can take a backup session for that. So no worry guys, we'll help you all the way. First be relaxed and listen today's session and believe me, previous sessions will not affect for today's session. Even you missed it, you can easily follow up this particular section. Okay, so no worry. So let us talk about how we install and how we run our Python code. And next major topic I would like to talk about, like choosing a development environment. Okay, what is mean by choosing a development environment, guys? What do you think about this particular agenda? What is mean by choosing a development environment? Okay, Google thinks that IDE, integrated development environment. Okay, but every programming language runs in multiple ways, guys. Okay, let us talk about that. Let us talk about what are the different choosing environment we have in Python. Okay, so there are basically 3 to 4 different. Yeah, we will be talking about Jignesh. We will be talking about, because anyhow in installation and running the Python, first thing I would like to show you how to install your Python, which is the current version, and also we will be talking about some major differences between 2.x version and 3.x version. Why should you know about Python 2.x version and 3.x version? Okay, why should you know about them? We will talk about in detail today. Okay, let us get into and talk about this installation and running. Let me show you what are the different choosing environment we have, but we will talk about in detail about it. The first way is like terminal based or shell based programming. IDLE, which is the default environment available for Python, and then we have some IDEs like PyCharm, Atom, Jupyter Notebook, Spider. There are hundreds of IDEs are available. Let us explore few of them today and their importance, why these IDEs will be useful, and what environment we are using for writing our Python code, because that is very important so that you get ready with the environment. Why I'm showing all this thing today, why this session is important, because we want the hands-on session. Because I told you from today onwards we will be starting some exercises to do. From today onwards we will be starting some exercises to do. So that's why it is important for everyone to get installed and to have this environment at least. Initially, if you are listening from mobile phone and all, it's okay. But slowly, as we proceed, okay, you should install the Python current version, and also you should have at least one of these developing environment. So Shiva was talking about Anaconda. We will talk about Anaconda version of Jupyter Notebook, Shiva, as well. What is the difference between a Jupyter Notebook and the Anaconda version of Jupyter Notebook? We will talk about all these things in detail today. Okay, so let me go for installation and running the Python code. How do we install and how we run the Python code? And I hope, as you have already did a little research on Python, I hope most of you have already installed Python on their machines, right? So can I check how many of you have already installed Python in their machine? So Bull says yes, he has installed Python in their machine. Which version, guys? Which version you have installed? Okay, thank you, Neeraj. Yeah, Anjali, thank you. Okay, 3.8, 3.7 or 3.8, perfectly fine. So initially, I am also starting with 3.7 version. Okay, so Tushar says that he has IDE. Very good to see that many of you have installed. Ram, if it is not installed, no worry. No worry. Wherever, whatever, in Ubuntu or in Windows or in Mac or whatever the operating system, you can just go to the website and you can install. If it is already installed, you can check a version like this. You can go to command prompt and you can check the version. Like you can check Python, okay, hyphen capital V. If you type this, it will tell you which version you have installed. So you can check yourself that which version you have installed. You can simply type Python hyphen V and that will show you the version of Python installed. Please check and let me know. No problem, Nitish. I'll guide you all the way. Okay, if anybody did not install, I will guide you how to install and how to run. It hardly takes 2-3 minutes, guys. It's nothing more. It's very simple procedure to install Python. I will explain you how to install Python. But if you have already installed, please check this thing in your computer system, check this command and tell me which version it's showing. Nothing wrong if it is above 3.7, it's perfectly fine. Okay, slowly I will also update to 3.8 or 3. Current version, so that we can learn what's new has been added in the Python version. So we'll talk about it as well. Okay, so no problem. So if you have checked, that's perfectly fine. If you have to install, let me show you how you have to install the Python code. What you have to do is, if you have to install this Python and you have installed Anaconda and Jupyter, which is better? Neeraj, I'll talk about in the Python. Yeah, both will be working. Yeah, both will be working. So either you give hyphen capital V or hyphen hyphen version, both will show you the Python version. Both are the command to show you the Python version, no problem. Both will show you the Python version. So if you wanted to install your Python code, Python, then you have to go and type you in the URL called https://www.python.org/downloads. If you click on that, if you type this URL, or simply go to Google and type Python download, or you simply type Python Software Foundation, they will take you to this website. They will take you to this website now. This is not currently looking website. I'm just showing you this screen so that I can show you a difference that Python till 2019. I've taken this screenshot in 2019 where there was latest version was 3.6.0, and you can see here Python has two different versions to be installed. Python 3.6.0 or Python 2.7.13. They have two different versions to get installed actually. So that's what I wanted to talk about, like why Python has given support for two different versions till 2020. Now in 2020, they have stopped supporting to any update or any support for Python 2.7. But why they have given these two different things, I would like to talk about today. So let us talk about what is the difference between 3.x version and 3.2.x version. Okay, whatever it may be, whether it is 3.7, 3.8, or whether it is 2.7.16 or 1.18 or whatever may be the version. Let us talk about both of them now. So when you reach here, what you can do is you will be installing 3.8 only, the current version. Okay, now you will not find this screen, you will not find this button anymore. They will only give you a link for installing 3.8 because they were not supporting this 2.7, so they will not give you any link to install this particular version. They will not give you a link for installing this particular version. Then it will also give you that what are the different environment you wanted to install, like Windows or Mac or any other platform. You can select the platform and you can click on download. It will download this is the current thing. It looks like this. You can just click on Windows, and once you click on the Windows, they will show you the Windows version, and you can go and click on the Windows 64-bit or 34-bit, 32-bit version based on your requirement, based on your operating system. You just click on that. The way you install other normal softwares, guys. This is nothing new to anybody here because you do install a lot of applications on your computer. So similar way, you go to Windows, and once you go to Windows, you will find an option that you want to install on 32-bit operating system or 64-bit operating system. So once you click on that, you'll get a next page like install this particular version. Okay, install this particular version. I recommend you to install now. Okay, don't go for customized installation. I'm just showing you so that you can go and select your own way. But you just click on install now and it will show you the path. Please make sure you copy this path where it has been installed, because sometimes you need to locate the path. Okay, so that way you can also search later on, no problem at all. You can just see there where it is getting installed. And also make sure, guys, this is very important, that install the launcher and add Python 3. Whatever the version path is important. And also you check that whether PIP is included or not. IDLE is included, pip is included, and documentation is included. Okay, if pip is not included, you will get a lot of problem to install the other modules in Python. Because to install the modules in Python or libraries in Python, we make use of this pip. which is actually installer manager, which is responsible for installing the other modules in Python. So you also need to check what is the version of pip. Once we check the version of Python, you can also check the version of pip. I can say pip hyphen capital V. This will show you the version of pip actually. So pip 18.1 and it has been installed in so and so location is showing me now. So please also check whether pip is installed or not, because most of the students will complain at the end that sir, I'm getting a command that pip is not recognized as an internal or external command whenever I'm trying to install any module. So you will face problem at that time. Initially we may not be installing any new module. Pip is actually it's a installer manager SK, because it helps you to install any new module in Python. Like for example, I told you one important module called NumPy. If you wish to install that module later on in Python, which is not defaultly available, you will say pip install NumPy. You will say pip install NumPy. So when you say pip install NumPy, it will install this NumPy module for you. So it's a Python package manager which is used to install the different modules in Python. Yeah, very good, Ubul. Thank you. So you will say pip install module name, that will install the module for you. So you will be using this very frequently. So now only you please check whether pip is installed in your version or not. Otherwise, you say you need to manually go and install that pip or reinstall this Python. If pip is not found, my recommendation is you can install pip separately, but my recommendation is go and install Python once again. And also, if the path is not been set, the Python will not work. So please take care of these two things. Check whether pip is getting installed and you have added this Python to the path. Otherwise, Python will not be recognized. Even though you have installed Python, you will be getting an error saying that Python is not recognized as an internal or external command. You will be getting an error saying that Python is not installed as recognized as an internal or external command. Please confirm how many of you satisfied with this slide, that how to install Python. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Srinivas. Good. Thank you. Thank you, Vishwajit. Thank you, Deepak. Thank you, Neeraj. Okay, thank you, Anjali. Okay, so everyone got it, right? Sneha, thank you. Snehal. Yeah, Thais, thank you. Customize installation will take you to select this all pip, which version pip you install or not, ideally you want or not. Okay, and what you want to set. That way you can customize your installation. Thai, but don't go for it initially, you will get confused. Okay, so that's what I would recommend. Don't go for customized installation. It will show you. I can get for 32 bits. Yeah, of course, Nitesh. You can also get for 32 bit or you can get for 64 bit. So both the versions will be available. So once you install, you'll get this page successfully. That setup was successful, and you get a close option so that the Python is already installed. Once Python is installed, I told you, you can check like this. You can go to command prompt and you can just type Python-V. If the path is set properly, if the Python is installed properly, then it will show you Python version. Otherwise, it will tell you that Python is not recognized as an internal or external command. Okay, and it will also tell you that pip, you can also check whether the pip is installed or not at the beginning itself, because after running some couple of programs and all, then you realize that pip is not installed, you have to reinstall Python is not a good option. So always check both this version. That's why I'm telling you, check Python version and check pip version. And if it is saying that to update the pip version, please update the version. Okay, you can say pip install pip and it will install or update the pip again. So that way the pip gets installed for you or updated for you then. Okay, so that way this is what for installation of your Python now. So this way you can install the Python. Okay, so let me talk about what is pip as well. So you can note it down. Okay, so always have your running notes, guys. Even though we will give you some material and all, please have your running notes, because running notes is like your Bible. It will help you all the way, guys. If you wanted to go for any advanced technologies to learn, if you wanted to go for any interview and all, just have a glance of your running notes will be equivalent to some 3, 5, 7 textbooks, guys, because we will be collecting information from many textbooks and presenting in front of you. Believe me, we'll go very detailed in every topic. So this information will be from many textbooks. Instead of you spending hours to learn Python, we'll giving you in some time, guys. So you are saving lot of time and you will get benefited only if you note it down. I know it's sometimes difficult to listen and to note it down. I am making this PowerPoint because only for you to show so that you note down or you take a screenshot and you note down whenever you're revising it and all. Okay. So I believe that everybody is noting it down because it is for your benefit, guys. It is completely for your benefit so that you can just have a glance, because instead of reading some 100 pages of textbook, it is equivalent to some 10 pages of your notes, guys, some running notes, whatever the point you feel like important and all. Otherwise you take the screenshots, because in online we have an opportunity that simply you can take screenshot and save it somewhere and you can just revise it whenever you want, or where you can note it down whenever you want. Okay, so that option is also available to you, a shortcut option. Why I'm telling, because you can stop me if you have to note down or if you have to revise something. Please let me know. I will show you that screen again. So let us talk about pip little bit. What is this pip? Because Sai has also asked us what is pip and all. So let me tell you, the pip is one of the most famous and widely used package management system to install and manage software packages in Python. So if you wanted to install any module or any packages in Python, it's very famous. But pip is not only the one. We have other package management system as well. Like another package management system we have called Conda. For Anaconda version of Python, we have Conda. So let me tell you, like someone has asked, what is Anaconda version of Python? Sorry. So Anaconda version of Python is what happens if you install Anaconda version of Python. This is one way of installing Python. Another way is you can also install Anaconda version of Python. Anaconda version of Python will install you Python with actually 700 libraries already installed. Especially we go for, if you wanted to implement some data science application, then we will recommend you to go for Anaconda version of Jupyter Notebook or Anaconda version of Python. And the package management for Anaconda is Conda. You have to install Conda, install, and then module name. So if you install Anaconda version, but that is not recommended right now, because unnecessary you will get 700 libraries installed, and while running your Python it will be a little bit slow if your computer do not support much, because all the modules need to be installed in a RAM. That makes your computer slow, guys. So that's why I don't recommend right now to install the Anaconda version unless and until you're working on some data science application and all. Please do not install that. Which version is best according to you? The present version 3.8.2 is the best version. You install that directly. I mean to say, you go to Python software one version foundation and install the Python code directly from that soft thing. Don't install Anaconda version. Okay, Deepak, that is according to me. Later on, we will update to Anaconda version when we go for data science applications and all. Then you can install that version. Right now, you don't need to install that. Okay, next about pip is that pip can also be used. Pip is recursive acronym. What is pip stands for? Sometime it can be an interview question. It stands for pip install packages or pip install Python. Okay, alternative pip stands preferred installer programmer, whatever you call them. So this can be an interview question. Okay, like what is pip stands for? You can say pip install packages or pip installs Python, or alternative as pip stands for preferred as installer program. Jupyter Notebook is different and Anaconda is different. Yes, Jupyter Notebook is IDE, okay, and Anaconda is actually a version of Python which contains modules in that. Okay, 700 modules will get installed automatically. So they are different. But Jupyter Notebook can be installed in two ways again. Jupyter Notebook can be installed directly as a Jupyter Notebook IDE, and you can also install Anaconda version of Jupyter Notebook. That's what I'm talking, SK. Don't install Anaconda version of Jupyter Notebook, because that will get you an IDE called Jupyter Notebook. Along with that, you will get 700 modules get installed by default. Okay, that makes your system slow, unnecessary, because right now you don't need those modules. Understood, SK? I hope your confusion got clear. But when we talk about IDEs like Jupyter Notebook, PyCharm and all, I will give you more clarity about that. But installation of Python is clear, SK? Okay, and also Python 2.7.9 and later, and 3 version later include pip by default. As you've seen that pip will added by default, but you have to make sure that it got installed or not. Otherwise, you will get error. To ensure you can run pip from command line, something like this. You can say pip hyphen hyphen version or pip hyphen capital V. Anyway, you can check what is a version of pip. Is this slide clear? I hope couple of things you can note down. You don't have to note down everything, guys. Running notes means whichever you feel like important, like the full form of pip, what is pip is used for, that's all. Okay, and how to check the pip version. So how to upgrade 3.7 to 3.8? You can just download, it will automatically update, Milan. If you just download the latest version, it automatically asks you for upgrade, because it will check whether you have installed that version or not. If it is already installed, it will automatically update for you. Yes, that's maybe Neeraj, that may be true, because you have installed the Anaconda version of Jupyter Notebook. That's why when you run your Python code, then your system might become slow, Neeraj. That may be one of the reason. You will find that when you start running your Python code, then you will see that some big codes and all will take a lot of time. At least starting off Jupyter Notebook and all will take a lot of time. So that's why I'm not recommending it. Unless you become a data scientist and you have a lot of work to do and you have enough uh, the things, okay, then you can go for it. So I wanted to make it clear, guys. Okay, that's what I wanted to say. This is a difference between Anaconda version of Jupyter Notebook or the normal Python installation or the Jupyter Notebook installation. Do it separately, because you will learn how to add different modules which you require. Then you only have the modules what you require, no other module, no extra effort. So I hope with all this information, everybody got the thing that how to install Python and how to check the Python versions and all. Okay, some of the examples on how to install packages using pip. So to install latest version of packages and all, to update new packages and all, Milan, you can say pip install package name. To install a specific package, you can also give a version also, which version you want to install. Or to upgrade, you can also say install upgrade package name. That way it will upgrade your package automatically to the current version. Or to remove or to uninstall, you can also say uninstall. Okay, when we are installing Anaconda version is not visible, from where we can install that? It is directly, it's a third party SK. It's not from Python people. It's a third party version. You have to type Anaconda version of Python, then it will navigate, it will take you to their website, and from there you have to install. Please don't do it right now. Ubul, you can go to the Python location where you have installed, and from there you can check it. Or you will get the documentation, Ubul. You can check in the documentation what are the packages by default installed. Or the third option is, I will tell you here, whenever you install Python, what are the modules get installed. Because we will be exploring all the modules installed and what are the modules you have to install. That we will tell you here in this course. So these are the three ways I told you. You can check what are the packages or what are the modules installed in your Python. No, actually, you cannot install multiple packages at the same time in Srinivas. That is also not recommended. You install the packages separately, because hardly it will take 1 second. So making no sense if you wanted to install multiple package. Okay, so previous slide, I'll show you once again. Yeah, to check whether is Python is installed or not, you have to import money. You have to import and check. Okay, I hope you're talking about this slide, Vishwajit. Okay, so thank you, Vishwajit. And next slide, I hope you have noted down some points here. But still, I will get back to this once we go and install some packages and all. You will get some clarity about it. Okay, but I have given you all the way how we install Python, how we install pip, okay, how to check Python is installed or not, how to check pip is installed or not, what is pip actually, and why we use pip for installing different packages and what we call pip for and everything. We talk about all the way, all the knowledge you need for installing a Python interpreter. Okay, if you are new to Python, please take your time to get installed. No worry, guys. Don't get confused with the names like Jupyter Notebook, Anaconda version of Jupyter Notebook, Python, pip, and all. Don't worry. Just note it down, and you just install whenever you get like comfortable with. But it is very easy, guys. Nothing more, nothing less. It's very easy to install. Only just check install the Python and check whether Python is installed and pip is installed. That's all, guys. No worry about other things right now. Okay, no worry about other things right now, because some of you might have installed and all. That's perfectly fine. No problem with this. That's what. No problem at all. I'm going to explain each and everything here. You don't worry. Okay, let's go for next topic called choosing a development environment. Okay, write the subheading as choosing a development environment. Like, what are the different ways? What are the different ways you can run your Python code? What are the different ways you can run your Python code? Let me introduce you all the ways today so that you can select which way. Again, I'm going to tell you all the way, but you have to take at least one way of which way you can. At the end, you need to tell me which way is good for you, because many people may go for different ways to run your Python code. All the way is correct, guys. All the way is correct. But if you ask me which way we are following in our course, we are actually following all the way one after the other. We're going to follow all the ways of running your Python one after the other. So please just confirm me that installation part is clear for everyone now, so that I can show you what are the different development environment we have in Python. Thank you. Ubul is always first to confirm. Thank you, Ubul. Thank you, Nitin. Thank you, Tejaswini. Thank you, Nitin. Thank you, Roshan. Here, at least one word, Y or N, makes me comfortable, guys. Okay. Otherwise, I may have a doubt like whether everybody is up to or not, because it's online session, right? And some of you might be attending for the first time and all. So we need to get used to with that. So your interaction plays a very important role, guys. Okay. The way you interact, the way you talk, then only I'll come to know like what are the people are here. And I think it's a good way, like you can ask any sort of your question. If it is relevant, I will definitely answer. If it is little bit irrelevant, I would like to answer at the end of the session or sometime later. I will tell you, but your interaction plays a very important role, guys. Where it's not for me, it's for you as well. Because if you wanted to claim yourself as a good Python programmer, you wanted to work along with me, then obviously you have to interact a lot. Okay, the way you interact, the way you clear, because my interest is before end of the session, whatever we discuss, it should be clear to all of you. Okay, it should be 100%. You feel like, okay, I have learned something and I have no question regarding the things. Okay, that should be the end of the each session. So there was a question from Raj Shekhar, says Python 3.8 for 32-bit installed, but pip is showing 64-bit. Is it compatible? Yes, no problem at all, Raj Shekhar. Okay, no problem at all. I don't think it will give you any problem. Try to install any of the module and check whether it is giving any problem to you or not. No problem. No, it's not a problem. You can disturb me always. I'm going to talk about now Jupyter Notebook Escape. That's why I didn't answer your question, because anyhow I'm going to talk about all the way you run your program. So I will explain you, okay, about Jupyter Notebook, because directly if I talk about, you will also get confused. So let me talk about what are the different choosing environment. See, every topic as it is online can be confusing or can be typical sometimes. So your concentration, your frequently asking questions and all will help things to run smoothly. Okay, so let us go and stop me. It's everybody's right to stop me and ask me to repeat any time you didn't follow, because some audio problem, because of any connectivity problem and all. If you miss some part of the thing, please ask me to repeat. There is no problem for repeating me that particular topic at the same time. But if you ask me at the end of the session or next day, it becomes little tough for me as well as for you to understand that topic. It's no problem at all, guys. You always have right to disturb. You always have can ask me to repeat that particular topic once again. Not at all a problem. Actually, you are doing a favor to me and to others to revise or to repeat that topic. We may waste some 2-3 minutes, but it will save a lot of time, guys, because everybody will get clear and they can understand the next topic. So please that keep in the mind. Sir, when I type Python -v in command, okay, Hanifa, you need to type capital V, Hanifa, not small v. I hope you are typing capital V. Or type -- version. Either of this you can type to check it. Make sure you're typing capital V. If you're not typing capital V or small v, you may not get the correct way. Okay, Hanifa, you need to make it clear. I'm not getting what does it mean, but I think this session will answer your question. So let us see what are the different environment. So once you have installed Python, there are various options for choosing an environment. Once you install the Python, there are various ways to run your program. Let us start with the first way now. So let us go to our blackboard and let us write here what are the different ways to run your program. One by one, I will explain here now. Okay, ways to run Python code. Okay, ways to run Python code. Either you can do along with me right now because it's starting, so it's okay. You can note down and you can try at the end of the session. If you can do that parallelly, that's well and better, because slowly you will learn how to listen and how to practice parallelly, keeping both the screen beside and all. Let me talk about the first way here. Let me talk about first way. So basically every programming language, whether it is Python or whether it is any programming language, there will be different ways actually, guys. There will be a different ways you can run any code, and especially I'm talking about Python program now. Especially I'm talking about Python program. What are the different ways you can run a Python program? What are the different ways you can run a Python program? The first way you can run a Python program, okay, the first way you can run a Python program is generally call it as a terminal based program. Terminal based, okay, or command oriented, CMD, using command prompt or terminal based programming. So every programming language, whether it is C, whether it is C++, whether it is Java, or whether it is Python and all, everybody will give you terminal based programming or command oriented programming. Okay, terminal based programming or command oriented programming. Okay, Roshan, no problem. So we started a topic called ways to run Python code. Okay, what are the different ways you can run a Python code? So I'm telling you right now, I haven't started. I'm telling you what are the different ways you can run your Python code. Okay, so no worry if you missed any connectivity and all, you can still follow up. So there is a terminal based or command oriented approach where you can use this command prompt and you can write your Python code now. That is first approach. Okay, and some of the languages do support a special type of coding or special type of environment called shell based programming. Okay, shell based environment. Shell based environment. I'll talk about what is this environment is all about. Okay, they give you shell based environment, and finally they will have, okay, I'm just selecting different colors so that it looks good. So finally they will have the other ways as well. Let me talk about the other way. We will be talking about, like, you can also run your code. Okay, you can also run your code using IDEs. Using IDEs stands for integrated development environment. You can also run using IDEs called integrated development environment, or I'll put it at the end. That's what I made it. So IDEs called integrated development environment. So if you take an example of Java, Java can be run on terminal based programming, or from command prompt you can run your Java program. Or Java do supports for shell based environment as well. Like if you are familiar with Java, and especially you see in Java 9, they have launched this shell based environment. So that I will explain in a moment what is the mean by the shell based environment. And then we also have some IDEs, like different IDEs are available. Like you can see that we for especially Python, we have popular IDEs like PyCharm is an IDE to write your Python code. I will tell you what is this IDEs also in detail. There is an IDE called Atom. There is an IDE called Spider. Okay, Spider. And there is an IDE called Jupyter Notebook. There is an IDE called Jupyter Notebook, and many more, many more. At least these many IDEs we will explore in our course. Okay, I will try to explore. Actually, one IDE is enough, but we'll try to explore different IDEs here because you will get familiar. Because different people just good with different IDEs. So we will make sure that you know some of the IDEs to work with. Okay, because when you join in companies, they may be working with different IDEs, so you must be comfortable with work with any IDE actually. And the other way you can write your Python code, especially this is for Python, that's why I did mention, especially in Python. Okay, there is another environment available which is called IDLE environment. IDLE environment, which is actually a GUI, graphical user interface shell, which is a graphical user interface shell. So these are the different environments you can run your Python code. The terminal based, okay, shell based, and IDLE and IDEs. Did you note it down, guys? Have you noted down? What are the different ways you can run your Python code? So that I can go and show you one by one. I'll go and show you one by one. Thank you, Tejaswini. Thank you, Snehal, Anjali, Deepak, Nitin. Thank you all. Okay, so these are the different ways you can run your Python code now. Terminal, shell-based, IDLE, and IDE. So let me start explaining you one by one. Now you have already installed Python and you wanted to run your Python code. The way you have run your C code, the way you have run your Java code, similar way you can run your code. And for terminal-based programming, what things you require? For terminal-based programming, what thing you require? Two things you require, guys, for terminal-based programming. For terminal-based programming or command-oriented programming, you require two things. Okay, the first thing what you require is the editor. First thing what you required is an editor. The second thing what you required is an interpreter. That's all, guys. Two things you require: an editor, an interpreter, obviously a command prompt. A command prompt. Okay, three things you require to run your program. Whether you're working with Ubuntu, or you're working with any Linux version, or Mac version, Mac or Windows or whatever, you basically require these three things. And every operating system will provide you editor and a command prompt or a terminal. Okay, it will provide you. An interpreter is the one what you have installed actually. Python is an interpreted language. It's not a compiler language. So what you install 3.8 version or whatever I shown you, actually you install interpreter. So you already have an interpreter, you already have an editor, and you already have a command prompt. And if you talk me about what an editor, you can use any editor, guys. It can be plain editor like Notepad. It can be plain editor like Notepad or Notepad++ or Edit Plus or Sublime Text or any sort of editor, guys. It can be any editor available in your Windows operating system or Linux operating system, or you install some third-party editor. Any editor you can take it. Okay, any editor, whether it is Notepad or whatever, any editor you can take it and you can run that. So let me show you. Right now, everybody will have Notepad, right? Everybody will have Notepad. So let's start with Notepad now. So I'll search for Notepad. I get Notepad available here now. Yeah, VI editor, you can use it if you are from Linux or Ubuntu version. You can use VI editor as well. That's what I'm telling. Any editor, guys. Any editor. Okay, whichever you feel like, whichever you're comfortable with. You might have used a lot of editors because you might have did some programming, maybe a scripting programming or any programming you might have done. You might have worked with editor. It's not something new to you because you write a lot of codes or you write a lot of documentation and all. You know about plain text editors. So I'm open my Notepad now. First thing what I did, I opened my Notepad. So I'm talking about terminal-based way of running my Python code. Okay, and I am open a Notepad editor here now. Okay, Notepad is a very rarely used because it does not support much of the coding and all. I'll talk about it. What does it mean? So I just open my notepad now. So after opening a notepad, I will simply type my hello world program. So I'll say print and hello world. Okay, hello world program. Let me show you how I run this hello world program now. So that's all, guys. If you wanted to print an hello world program in Python, you'll simply write a print function, which is a predefined function for printing things on your output screen, printing things on your here called hello world. You can write this string in double quotes, okay, and you just need to save this file. So once you write this thing, what you need to do is open the editor and write the code, and after writing the code, save it, okay, wherever you wanted to save it. Let me save it in the desktop. So in the desktop, I wanted to save it as, okay, something like demo is already there, so I'll save with Deepak name, because right now I can see Deepak name on my screen. So deepak.py, please make sure you give the extension as py, stands for Python file. Otherwise your interpreter will not recognize if you don't store it as .py extension. Okay, so .py is an extension for Python file. So what we did, simply I just opened my notepad, I wrote my code, whatever the code I wanted to write it. After writing my code, then I just say save, and I navigate to my location where I wanted to save it. I went to desktop, and the file name I have given as deepak.py. The file name I have given as deepak.py, and then the extension as py, and I can save it in my desktop now. So if you wanted to check, you can go to desktop and you can check that we already got Deepak file, and it is showing me with PyCharm as an icon, because PyCharm is my default IDE to open my Python files. That's why it's showing you, but for you it may show you different way. Okay, so no worry about what icon is showing you. It depends on what default version you are using to run it. Santosh says is making some disturbance. Is it for everyone, so that I can check on my side? Sometimes it's because of network as well, Santosh. So let us check, is everyone facing the problem? Okay, Deepak says no, the voice is clear. Santosh, you also need to check little bit on your side as well, if it is some disturbance and all. Sometimes network will create a problem, okay, some disturbance. Yeah, thank you. And I just suggest that if is that sometimes you can use headphones and all. Okay, thank you for confirming, everyone. So is this clear, guys? What we did, let me write the steps as well. First step here, okay, first step here, I open editor, open notepad, right? I open my notepad. Second, okay, write code. I have written code. What code I have written? Something like print hello world. Something like print hello world. I have written my code now. Okay, so write the code, whatever the code you wanted to write it. Then the third thing is you have to save the file in the preferred location, wherever you wanted to save filename.py. Filename.py. So we have opened the notepad or any editor you can open, or write the code in that editor and save the file with filename.py. So done, we save the file, our file is ready. But now the fourth step is, if you wanted to, now the first step is over, the editor job is over. The editor job is to just write my program. The editor job is to just write my program now. So once I have written the program, then what I will do is I will go to command prompt. Okay, open command prompt. Open CMD. Open the command prompt or terminal, whatever you call them. Open the command prompt and terminal. Fifth step is, okay, invoke interpreter and run your program. That's all. Open the command prompt, as my command prompt is already open. If you sometimes wanted to clear the screen, you can type CLS and it gets clear the screen and everywhere. And obviously, sorry, I forgot to tell you, you have to navigate. Open the command prompt and you have to navigate to the location. Navigate to the file location. Okay, navigate to the file location. So you go to file location wherever the file is available. So it is available in the desktop. So I will use CD in Windows operating system, and then you will say that go to desktop. You will type desktop. It will navigate to you to the desktop. Is that clear, everyone? Up to here? Opening an editor, writing the code, saving the file name with .py, opening the command prompt .terminal, and navigating to the file and location. And the sixth step is to run. Sixth step is to run the thing. Okay, run the script. So how to run the script? You can type the command called Python. This is to invoke the Python interpreter and give the file name, which is the file name is Deepak. I hope we have given Deepak. Yeah, we have given Deepak. So I will give it as deepak.py. I'll take it as deepak.py. So when I run this particular code now, it's printing me hello world onto my console. That's so simple. Is it not easy? Same like you did for other programming languages. Opening the terminal, writing the code, saving the file, opening the command prompt, okay, navigating to the file location where you have saved. Otherwise you will get error. Yeah, same like Java, Deepak, that's true. This is what you did for Java as well. The only difference you find here, we don't compile. Yeah, if you wanted, you can just copy paste and you can navigate, guys. Like for example, you wanted to navigate to this location. You wanted to navigate to this location because you have saved the file there. So what you can do is simply, you can say cd and paste that code wherever, like C users, picture, Python and all. When you click enter, it will navigate to that location. It's very easy. You just need to say cd for change directory and you type whatever the location you wanted to navigate to, where your file is saved. As it is saved in my desktop, so I navigated to my desktop. No, you don't compile. There is no compiler, Pankaj. Python as an interpreter. You directly run your code. It will not have any compiler and then you need to run the code. It has an interpreter which runs the code line by line. So there will be no compiler available. So you don't have to compile the Python code. It's actually, there is a different flavors of Python. It's for C Python, Cython. You have Cython, you have Jython. There are different flavors of Python, Pankaj, and based on that, they will have different extension. Yeah, if code have any error, they will show you here, guys. If the code have any error, okay, they will show you the thing. So let me just run the command prompt again. Okay, go to desktop. It's taking me to the desktop. And if you have any error now, like for example, I forgot to close this bracket or something. Okay, double quotes. If you have any error, then if I run this Python code now, okay, like for example, I run Python and Deepak, okay, .py. Now this time it will give me an error that file deepak.py, line number 1. There is a syntax error saying that end of file while scanning the string literal. It's saying that string literal has not ended properly. It takes time to understand what kind of error, but interpreters and compiler are so like they'll give you a perfect errors. They will tell you what is a mistake and they are pointing it out as well. There's something wrong with your string. You have not closed your string properly and all. I believe that the way we will learn here, you will never get any sort of interpreter error, guys. That you have to be very comfortable. The way we will learn here, that you will never ever get any sort of error. If you are getting an error, means you are not following the concept properly. That's what, meaning getting an error means you are doing some syntactical mistake, you're not learning the syntax properly. Getting an error is very common, guys. I'm not saying getting an error is uncommon. Getting an error is common, but getting an error, it means that you are not 100% perfect on that particular topic. Understood my point? Understood everyone? So that way you don't worry, we will never ever get it, because the way we will learn here is completely practical. We will show you each and every example here. You can also try yourself. You can share your errors with us, so that error is also one way of learning, but that is not the good way of learning in my point of view. Because sometimes it's good to learn from errors, but my point of view is why you will get error. If you're good with syntax, if you're good how to write the code, then you should not get an error. If you're getting an error, there is something missing. So that is my point of view. Initially, you may feel like, okay, it's very tough, but no, it's very easy. I'll make sure about that. Okay, so first thing we completed, how to run terminal-based program. Using the editor, using interpreter, and using command prompt, you can run your Python code. If you're getting hello world printed onto the console, it means your Python code works fine. Okay, so shall we go for next way, or shall we see tomorrow? Because again, it will take half an hour or 1 hour for me to cover all these things. See, my teaching way is to learn to teach you all the way so that you will never get disappointed in any way in interviews or in any competitive programming or any way you will not get disappointed. Okay, I can see your suggestions and all. So I'll go with maximum people. So many people says continue tomorrow. No problem because as time is up, again we'll have at least half an hour class. Okay, so unnecessary like your schedule may get spoiled. No worry because I'm asking you because I'm stopping in between. That's why I have to ask you. If I conclude the topic, I will never ask you. I will conclude and finish. Most of the cases, we will conclude and finish. Sometimes topic is very lengthy, so sometimes we may increase the time. Okay, and sometimes tomorrow means yeah, tomorrow we do have class. It's up to Friday, guys. Monday to Friday, I think. Okay, I'll just confirm once. According to me, the classes will be Monday to Friday. Yeah, Tejaswini, I will explain you tomorrow what is scripting language because you will come to know when we write the shell-based programming and all, we'll come to know. So sorry for the people who are very interested because I know we should not stop in between, but one thing is concluded. The other part we will see because many of you wanted to know about Jupyter Notebook and other. No worry, guys. Okay. Yeah, unless our team people will update you, you will use the same URL, guys. I will share you once PPT is incomplete. I will complete it and share you. Don't worry, I will share you my notes as well. Okay, but I believe that this running notes will not be available in any textbook and all because this is after learning from anyway. Yeah, we have not also discussed about 2.x and 3.x. Yeah, I'll definitely do. Please remind me. Next session, when we start, the first thing I will discuss is difference between 2.x and 3.x version as well. We will cover a lot of libraries, lot of modules here, guys. We will cover math module, calendar module, date time module, regular expression module, OS module, sys module, numpy module. Okay, we will talk about sci-fi module. We will talk about pandas module, matplotlib, CSV module, JSON module, many modules. You don't have to worry right now. Okay, Srinivas, I already talked about the course content. I have talked about syllabus in my first session, and even I have revised yesterday what we are going to discuss in this session in this course. Okay, that's what. No problem, guys. Okay, if you have missed, I will revise the thing. How to host the Python code? Well, which Python code you are talking about? Like which Python code you are talking about? Is a web code, web application? Guys, actually for others I would like to tell you like we're done with the session. Okay, if you have no queries you can leave. If you have queries, I would like to answer for some time. Yeah, thank you, Nitesh. Okay, thank you everyone. You say compiler is not used in Python. Yes, Satya. We don't have compiler in Python. We do have interpreter. Python is an interpreted language. Yeah, thank you, Thai. Yeah, thank you, Vishwajit. Yeah, thank you, Deepak. Satyam, are you clear? Ubul says not web. Then which code you're talking about hosting? Like generally we don't host the code. We host the web code. Like if it is a website, then we host the website. Python code, you can just give the exe file. They will run the exe file. If it is a game or anything, you will just give an exe file. Okay. If you're talking about hosting and all, you'll do in GitHub or something. You're talking about GitHub, Ubul, because the question was not clear. Hosting means only web application we do host. If you wanted to put your code in GitHub and all, that is package managers are available. You can host in GitHub if you want. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Pradnya or Snehal. Interpreter shows error, Satyam. Interpreter shows error. Interpreter is also a translator and it works exactly same like compiler. The only difference is interpreter interprets line by line. The compiler compiles the whole code and give you all the errors at once and gets you an intermediate file and then it runs. Okay, so compiler and interpreter both can give an error. It's not like interpreter cannot give an error. We got an error because of that interpreter. Satyam. Python has no compiler. Okay, but in mobile exe files will not work. Yeah, it means to say that you need to deploy that in mobile. You need to deploy that in mobile. For mobile, we have different libraries Ubul that will help you to deploy automatically. Okay, you can write the code and you can deploy the code in the mobile, or you can say install that code in the, so that module will help you Ubul. Okay, every way they see, that's what I tell you. A desktop application is different, a mobile application is different, a web application is different. Every application has a different way of running. Okay, so that's why I ask you which way you want, because every way of writing a code has a different way. You need to install, sometime you need to run exe file. In website you have to deploy the pages in the web server, so there is a different way. That's why I got confused, like what is meant by hosting. Okay, I hope it's clear now. Same timing guys, Nitesh, same timing. 7 to 8 is our timing actually. Okay, and last 10 minutes we can give for some doubts clarification and all. So that's all. So we will continue from here tomorrow. Thank you everyone. Thank you for joining. Hope to see you. What is the minimum specification of system required to work with data science? Okay, so when we start data science, that time I would like to give you, but you need to have minimum 8 to 16 GB RAM. Okay, and hard disk is better. You have the recent hard drive. Okay, size is okay, no problem, because sometimes data set is very big. RAM matters a lot, guys, and your Intel 8 or the present Intel 8 is okay, I think. Okay, like I have i5 8th generation or 10th generation is okay, or you can go for other like i7 as well. i7 is more suitable with the latest version. Okay, but now I have 8th generation i5, which is okay for me for writing some data science application with 8 GB RAM. But still I face some time problem, guys. That's why I recommend you go for 16 GB RAM and something like 10th or 12th generation in i5 or i7, the latest generation. That I can recommend you, Nitin. But sometimes it cost may affect, so you can go for some cost effective laptop as well initially. Okay, thank you, Satya. Okay, so already we have 2.7 point in my system. Yeah, you need to reinstall 3.x, guys, because we will not be learning 2.7, because you can have both the version SK, no problem. I have both the versions in my system actually, so no problem if you have both the versions installed, because even I sometimes do compare, so it is also good for you to check with both the versions. So nothing wrong. You install the 3.8 version, it will get installed automatically, and the path will be set automatically. So no problem with 2.7 version. Okay. The course is you selected for testing automation. It helps you for multiple ways, Santosh. Okay, it helps you for multiple ways. Don't worry. It's actually meant for data science and web development, testing and automation everywhere, but it helps you all the way. Don't worry. Because for all this way, you need to master in Python. That's what we do first here. First 20-25 sessions will be making you master in Python all the way. Then we will start exploring all other things. Okay. So thank you all. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, 7 to 8. Yeah, have a nice day, Ubul. Have a nice day, everyone. So it's very nice to see you waking up at morning and attending. So good to see all of you. Yeah, thank you, Raj Shekhar. Thank you, everyone. So we'll take a leave now. Okay, thank you.